Congratulations to Lupita Nyong'o and the cast and crew of 12 Years a Slave, especially Steve McQueen, for portraying the story of a once freed man who was captured into slavery and freed once again. Thank you to all of you for portraying that story. I think it's really important that the people of this generation have a different perspective of slavery and the story of this person being triumphant during that time. Though, that 12-year span of hardship is what he had to go through. Now, to be honest, I did not see the movie. I will make some time, or I will get around to seeing it. But I think the concept of slavery as a whole, should definitely be brought up, especially in this day and age. Now, what's funny is that the host of the Oscars, Ellen DeGeneres, she did mention that 12 Years a Slave was going to be nominated as a movie of the year, and that if it didn't win, the Academy or whoever, decided what will be the movie of the year would be racist. We'd all be racist if 12 Years a Slave didn't win. I thought that was pretty ironic and funny because, it did end up winning, and I'm happy that it won, but I'm wondering if it won because it was a movie about slavery. Is that not a reach to come to a conclusion to? I would think the movie won because it was a compelling story and it captured the human spirit and it was about this gentleman that had to go through these hardships. But overall, knowing that the movie was based around slavery, is that the reason why it won Movie of the Year? Now, granted, there was other great nominations. Like, I saw a couple of the other films that were nominated for Best Movie, and they were all pretty good. But at the same time, I just feel like there's such a stigma when it comes to slavery, where it's kind of like lest we forget. We should never forget slavery, which is true. We should never forget our past. We should never forget where we came from as a people. I'm talking about black people in this case. We should never forget our past, because it's our past that makes us recognize our future. Now, I guess similar to 9/11 in the sense of a tragedy, how us as a state or as a nation will never forget that day, us as black people feel that, slavery is something that we should never forget. And we should continue to remind generations about the hardships that we had to go through 400, 500 years ago. Which makes sense. We should constantly keep that part of our history intact and make sure that that story is never, misconstrued in a way. But at the same time, I feel that some people use slavery as a crutch to blame the issues of today. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that people slap the slavery card down every single time, and they feel that that's a justifiable reason for, either being compensated or, for being treated right or whatever. You can't, work at your job and stretching an example. I'm saying you can't work at your job and tell your boss, hey, I deserve better pay, or I deserve, to be treated right because my people went through slavery. Of course, I don't think anybody would say that, but at the same time, I think we have a lot of situations where we try to point back to slavery, like, hey guys, remember slavery? Yeah, we went through that. So you should kind of keep that in mind when you're, dealing with us. Keep in mind, our generation did not go through slavery. Our ancestors, the generations before, had to go through it, but we haven't. So it's easy for us to say, hey, slavery was a thing, but we've never really experienced it. And it's to the point where I think we use that, once again, as a crutch to tell people or to portray to people that, we deserve better. We've advanced so much from that time that, it's appreciative of those generations laying down that groundwork for us to be where we are today. But I don't always feel that we should use slavery as a means to justify or to, I should say, appropriate what we need in this generation. I think generations coming up should know what slavery was and know how horrible it was and know what we had to go through. But every single situation that we go through shouldn't relate back to slavery. That's what I think. I think it's just like a crutch that we're using. I think we've advanced so much more, even though there's more work to be done, obviously. I don't know, slavery is just a very touchy subject. Similar to how Jews have the Holocaust and they feel like that was a horrible point in time, and how people like to compare the Holocaust with slavery, which is completely, unfound. You can't compare the two at all. But, going back to it, I just feel that at the end of the day, at the end of the day, slavery was something that happened to our past generations, and that we shouldn't have to carry that on our backs because that's the reason that they went through it. You know, for us as this generation to, you know, move past it and become better. Anyway, I'd like to let you know, I would like to know your thoughts on the topic of slavery, and if you feel that it's appropriate to, you know, continuously bring it up in today's generation. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And I will see you guys next week on the show. Thank you for watching Unedited. I'm Vixen. And remember to live your lives uncut. I'll see you guys next time. Fade out.